Hey, welcome to my GTE Sebring lap guide for Le Mans Ultimate. We're driving the Ferrari GTE again today. This track's really tough, it's got some unusual turns, but we'll get to those in a moment. First of all, we start the lap off by looking for the end of the wall on the right, and we're going to be braking about 2 car lengths before the end of the wall. Braking quite hard, but only briefly, because we're going to start trailing the brake quite quickly and bringing the car towards the inside. You carry quite a lot of speed into this turn, just trail the brakes and try and get quite near to the wall. There's that number board up there on the top of the fence, that's going to be our apex reference. I may have apex just a fraction too early here, but I got on throttle and just caught the dirt on the outside there. You can actually afford to just catch the dirt, but it does cost you a little bit of time. So to try avoid getting onto the dirt, just use the curb and then back onto the track. Now for the next braking point, we've got these lines across the track. We're going to be braking between the 200 and the 300 board here, and for this turn we want to be having a later apex, so don't brake too early. You want to trail in and only catch the curb at the end of the turn. We do want to cut over the curb just a little bit to shorten our line and open up our entry for the turn on the right here, and we also want to get up on the curb just here to also shorten our line and open up our entry line for the following left turn, because if you go around the curb it just makes it too awkward. So here we're looking for where the track starts to bend. That's kind of our braking reference, braking and turning just before the track bends. And then another late apex here. If you apex too early, it's going to really mess you up on exit. So hit the apex just right about here, but don't get up on the curb. Hitting that curb will unstabilize the car a bit. And then on exit, use all the curb, and then we're going down towards the hairpin. For the hairpin, we're going to be looking out for white lines that go across the track. I forgot what number board it is, the 400 board. We're going to be braking just after that 400 board line that goes across the track and braking really hard initially and then trailing off the brake as we get closer towards the apex here. Now turn hard towards the right, but be careful, don't get up on that little sausage curb because that will kind of ruin your traction on the exit and it will cost you time. So keep off the sausage but use all of the flat curb, and then be gentle on throttle on exit because it's very easy to snap into oversteer there. So just straighten up the car, get hard on throttle once you got the car straight, and there you go. Now for the next braking zone, we have more lines across the track, which is very useful. We can brake closer towards the second line, braking maybe half a car length before we get to that second line across the track where the 300 board is. We don't want to apex too early here, but we can use the inside curb just a little bit to help shorten our line just a little bit. And then easing on the throttle on exit, we don't want to snap into oversteer again. So just bring on the throttle, balance your steering inputs with that throttle. And then once we get to these left kinks here, don't get up on those little curbs. They will unstabilize you and potentially cost you some time, so just get near to them but not onto them. Same with that one right there. Now this turn up here is one of the more difficult ones on the track. We're going to start braking just before we're parallel with the white line on the left. We don't want to brake too late because that will mean we'll have a very late apex. It is quite bumpy here, and you can use a little bit of the inside curb with these cars, just a little bit of the dirt, don't cut too much, and also just don't carry too much speed in because then you'll have a really poor exit. Cautiously balance your steering and throttle inputs on exit to avoid snapping into oversteer. Carry your momentum to the outside curb, and that's a nice exit. Now we move towards the next braking zone around these kinks using the curbs on the inside there. Now here we're going to be braking almost alongside the 300 board. I'd say just a fraction before we get to it to make sure we don't carry too much speed into the turn. We can cut almost all of the curb on the inside here. Just make sure you keep your left wheels on the curb. Don't want to cut too far and invalidate the lap. Then bring the car towards the right a bit, and then you can use all of the inside curb on the left as well over here. Now for the next braking zone, we just want to make sure we keep the right side wheels within the white line. If we cross that white line fully, then we invalidate the lap. There's not a strong braking reference here, but there's some darker areas of the tarmac that I've pointed out on the screen there you can use as braking references. Then for this turn, again, you can cut almost all the curb. Just keep your left wheels on the curb to make sure your lap's still valid. I got on the throttle just a little bit too early here, which means I got out into the dirt, and that would have cost me just a little bit of time, but ideally try not to get onto the dirt, just use all of the curb, carrying your speed through to the outside. And there we go. So now we head down towards the last turn, which is also probably one of the more difficult turns on the track. We do have more lines across the track to use as our braking references, and we're looking for the final white line that goes across the track, and that would be at the 100 board here. We're going to be braking just before we get to that 100 board line and carrying quite a lot of speed in and making sure we stay towards the outside near that white line right there, and then we trail the brake in and bring the car towards the inside, getting quite close to that inside wall. I again got on the throttle just a little bit too early here, which means the car was really pushing on exit. It was fine, but I did really heat up those outside tires, as you can see down there. Ideally you just be patient and get on the throttle a little bit later, and you'll still have a really nice clean exit. This lap was quite nice overall, just a couple mistakes. But now I'm going to play through the whole lap again, let you watch the whole thing without the interruptions, and then after that we'll take a look at the pit entry for Sebring, which is another one of those weird ones, so we'll take a look at that shortly. See you at the end of the lap. to take a look at the pit entry here at Sebring. Now at the back end of the circuit coming up to the double left kinks here. Now for the pit entry, when you see the pit dividing line right there, make sure you stay fully within the white lines. If you cut them at all, it seems to give you a cut warning. Now where the grass ends there, that's our braking reference, braking about half a car length after that, quite hard on the brakes, then trailing it in, close to the wall, and back on throttle. Now here, at the time I've uploaded this video, you can't cut beyond that white line because there's an invisible wall, so just make sure you go around that. Starting to brake half a car length before the apex there. Initially soft on the brakes, and as you straighten up, get harder on the brakes, and you'll be about 60 km per hour at the line. Practice that a few times, because if you get too hard on the brakes while turning there, you can lock up, you can also spin, so just be careful. Anyway, I hope this lap guide's helped you out, Sebring. As always, if there's anything you'd like to say or ask, feel free to leave a comment. Thank you for all the support you guys have been giving me on these videos, I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in the next one very soon.